Welcome to this new stream here on the channel, and yes guys, Bitcoin is absolutely skyrocketing. It just hit $44,000. I was not home, so I decided to rush back towards my place immediately to go live as soon as possible. So here I am. I'm gonna be revealing exactly what is currently going on with Bitcoin. Why are we pumping towards the upside? And what are the next targets? What are the big levels of resistance ahead of ourselves? And will there be any resistance? And of course, I'm gonna discuss the liquidations that are currently taking place, trade opportunities. I mean, I unfortunately closed my long position on 39.7k and it went up even an approximately 10% higher. So I could have made an extra 20 or 30k from off that trade. And so far I have been opening up a small position right here, but already took my profits out on $43,000. So once again, took some early profits again, but for the next trade, I'm gonna try to ride it a little bit longer. So let me explain what currently is going on here, because earlier today, I discussed this in my video and especially on Twitter, because I started to see this symmetrical triangle getting formed on Bitcoin, and I discussed it on Twitter. I mean, you can see it over my page. I tweeted about it so many times today because I was looking closely towards this and also trading this myself. So I already said it right here, update, Bitcoin is going to be breaking out anytime soon. It's getting ready for a big move. And at this point it was breaking out. And then right here, it was starting to go, and here, boom, it started to go, and now it is, of course, absolutely exploding. So I discussed this many times before. I took a small trade on the breakout, and yeah, Bitcoin went absolutely skyrocketed towards the upside. So Bitcoin created a consolidation phase and currently is going up again. We're going to be seeing about where we're going to be stopping, but currently, if I'm looking about the momentum, Bitcoin is indeed still creating a bearish divergence, but it doesn't really matter that much right now. But if we're looking at the liquidation heat map, we once again liquidated tons and tons of short positions in the market. Be careful with shorting this, because Capo, I don't know if you guys still know him, but he has been saying short Bitcoin ever since $15,000, and he's been saying it again and again, and every single time he must get liquidated. And if we're looking at the 24-hour, only $170 million in Bitcoin shorts are getting liquidated. So one conclusion I can straight away say is that this move is not generated by a big short squeeze. No, this move is generated by aggressive spot buying. And why am I saying so is that this is also one of the wallets that I've been tracking that has been buying tons and tons of Bitcoin. Literally every single day he does buy orders of 100 Bitcoin, about $4 million, and today he bought more than, what is it, $24 million worth of Bitcoin. Yesterday he did way more than that. These were all the orders of yesterday, so this is approximately, what is it, about $40 million worth of Bitcoin bought. So this guy is buying massively from the market. And so there are also a lot of other people in there, because if we're also looking at the available Bitcoin currently on the market, it is absolutely insane, guys. Because if we're seeing this is the reason why we're pumping, in my opinion, right? So what we're seeing right now is that there's only 1.8 million Bitcoin available on exchanges, and it's only decreasing. So the available Bitcoin supply to be buying is becoming less and less big here, and due to that, Bitcoin is of course squeezing even higher. So at the same time, right now we can see the funding rates are starting to become a little bit higher. Last time we had it, Bitcoin even went higher again here. So yes, I do want to be taking this very seriously. But of course, if the funding rates are getting too overly weighted towards the upside, I will be expecting, of course, we could get a pullback. But for now on, it's actually still looking quite healthy. They're not super high, so this is not really a big reason to be worrying about. So before going into some other news that is potentially influencing the price action as well for Bitcoin, let me talk about the charts, because Bitcoin is going absolutely exponential right now. And the question really remains, where is it going to be ending? Because usually once a parabolica is going to start consolidating, it tends to be ending. But for Bitcoin this time around, it isn't. It just keeps on going, and the chart looks absolutely insane. Not gonna lie, it looks absolutely insane, and it looks like it's just gonna shoot through $50,000 potentially, even from off this point. So, I mean, we do know that we're just a couple days out before the Bitcoin spot ETF is going to get accepted. And due to that reason, people are not really interested in selling their Bitcoin. And even if we're looking on chain, guys, and I'm going to quickly show this because we're here in the live stream and I'm literally doing my research together with you guys out there. Also going to talk about some trades. I'm going to also look in towards the chat. Currently don't really have the time to look at it, so I'm so sorry. There's so many things to discuss. So What did I said? Oh yeah, this. So looking at the percent of Bitcoin holders last active for 1+ year, I mean, people are not even interested on selling their Bitcoin. Well, like 80% of all the wallets out there are in profit. No one is actually really interested in selling their Bitcoin due to the fact that, of course, that spot ETF is about to come. So Bitcoin could even go more exponential if this behavior continues further on, of course. As well, Bitcoin dominance is going up. We've been saying this for quite a while on the channel. I mean, for this entire period right here, I've been bullish on the Bitcoin dominance. And honestly, I tweeted about it as well today. I really think that if we're going to be hitting this red line right here for the Bitcoin dominance, that is going to be the point where you really want to be starting to be pivoting into altcoins. And honestly, I think the time for Ethereum is going to come after Bitcoin. So right now, it is still Bitcoin season, but let me quickly show you this, guys. I think altcoin season is going to be next year. So let me quickly go to the latest. Ethereum. I think this is the tweet because I posted this yesterday. This. So usually first the money flows into Bitcoin, then it goes to Ethereum, then it goes to the large caps, and then it goes to altcoins. So right now Ethereum is still lagging behind, but I think Ethereum is going to be the next one to be moving so significantly. So I'm getting ready for some big moves here for Ethereum, and definitely I think we are about to be getting some explosive price action here, and that is going to be, of course, absolutely insane for Ethereum. So the point where I would really start to think about, okay, this is the time where I really want to be going aggressively in altcoins is, of course, once the Bitcoin dominance is going to be touching 57%. So just for your information, that is the point where I really think it could start to flow into Ethereum massively and in towards large caps. I mean, it could already potentially see a small little decreasement right here, but I think the big rejection is going to come from of this level right here. Why? Is because this has been previous big support, and I honestly think this is going to be a big range of resistance. So that is going to be, for me, an interesting point to be starting to be looking at altcoins. As well, what we're currently can see here is that Bitcoin on the weekly time frame is about to be having this bullish crossover, what is also going to be absolutely massive. And of course, on the daily time frame, honestly, guys, if I'm looking at Bitcoin, this is an insane chart. So where are we heading towards next? Because Bitcoin, it is indeed going absolutely parabolic. But let me quickly look at this previous phase in the market, right? So if you're looking at Bitcoin, you're looking basically, this was being this was the previous drop-off point. This was the biggest support. This will probably turn in big supports because this was the point Bitcoin basically turned it in towards a downtrend. So let me look at some more important levels, and I'm going to be overlaying this and discussing this in the next chart. So I think $47,000, 47.7K, this level right here is going to be big resistance for Bitcoin. We're going to be checking it out in the other at the real time in a second from now on. So this has been major resistance. This is where, of course, the drop-off also started for Bitcoin towards the downside. So I'm going to be looking at this level actually, and let's see if we already broke this level, 46.6K. I think this is also a pretty important level for Bitcoin to be looking at. So these are the levels that we're currently aiming at. So Bitcoin has not touched any of these levels yet so far, and I think that these are the levels that we should be looking at because Bitcoin is going absolutely parabolic right now, and these could be levels where big sell orders are going to be getting set up here. You can see that this green line right here, this is the level I talked about as well, 39.7K. This was also a big sell wall, but Bitcoin still managed to be pushing above it. So I will be expecting that this level right here as well, 44.6K, is going to be also such a big sell wall, and we could see some small rejections from it before Bitcoin potentially is going to go higher. Am I saying, should we short this? No, this is not what I'm trying to say here, because I think if you're going to be shorting in this market, in this exponential rally towards the upside, you could get wrecked. And of course, if you get a position, you can get a very good one, because honestly, if Bitcoin has a rejection from such a kind of a move, and I want to be pointing this out straight away before anyone starts to be panicking right here, Bitcoin has been going up more than, 20% in a matter of 8 days. And if it goes down 10 or 5% back towards $40,000, I am not going to be the one that's going to be worrying. I am going to be the one that is actually going to be interested on buying Bitcoin, because we've been so strongly towards the upside. So we have to be looking this and approaching this from a trend perspective. Right now, the trend is overly bullish. The sentiment is overly bullish. So any dip we're going to get here is going to be a dip I will be embracing with both hands here. So next resistance, 44.5K. Not necessarily think we're going to be we should be shorting that, but what we want to be looking at about where is the next level where we can long Bitcoin, right? So this is of course an interesting level to be looking at. This is honestly not the most favorable level to be looking at in my opinion. We could be looking at the upward sloping support line potentially for Bitcoin right here. But basically, the biggest support and where I would be the most confident on longing Bitcoin is going to be 39.7k. But of course, 39.7k is a very far away point. So let me quickly even look on the daily time frame where other important levels lay. Because how it basically works, and I explained this a couple times before, right? So this Bitcoin move here, you can see the price went very exponentially towards the downside. So there's not a lot of volume in this range. And this is also what happened right here. We went very quickly towards the upside. And right now we are in this phase in the market right here where we tend to see more consolidation. And the top side of this region, so between these red boxes, this is really a range where I could be expecting this is the first real problem range for Bitcoin where we could potentially start to see, okay, right now we could be seeing some rejection since this has previously around also acted as massive resistance. And this was a massive fake out range previously around, right? So I'm going to be taking this range very, very seriously right now for Bitcoin. And I think so do you. I mean, yes, Bitcoin is going very exponentially towards the upside, but let me also explain this here. Before going further in towards this daily time frame and to see where we potentially could long Bitcoin, let me quickly explain what has also been going on in the past year as well. So let me quickly remove these lines right here. Let me turn this off. Let me turn on actually the RSI here, guys. So let me go to the BLX chart actually to make it a little bit more clear. So where are we right now in the cycle, right? That is a very important question. And that is very important to be paying attention towards right now. Because if we're looking at the Fear and Greed Index, I'm going to take it up as well. Fear and Greed Index. Guys, this is just a pure lesson from everything I learned so far. So this is the Fear and Greed Index. Let me quickly open it up. Boom. So currently, we're definitely in greed territory. And if everyone is greedy, you should think twice before aping in towards Bitcoin, right? So where are we right now in the cycle? I'm not trying to say you should stay on the sidelines because I am personally 100% spot long on Bitcoin. This is one thing you have to understand. I am 100% spot long on Bitcoin. I'm a believer in the project, and that is why I'm spot long on Bitcoin. But for my trades, I'm having a different approach because I'm trying to trade to make more fortune. So I have a different approach on that. So bullish on Bitcoin always in the long term. And I've been buying Bitcoin in the bear market, like you guys know if you've been following the channel. I have not been stopping uploading videos. I've not been stopping talking about what I love, and that is, of course, Bitcoin. But let me explain what's currently going on. We're going absolutely exponential here in the bear market recovery phase, because this is still the phase that I'm pointing out if I'm looking at the previous cycles, because the halving has not come yet so far. What have we seen here in previous bear market recovery rallies? We've been going quite in this overbought condition numerous times before, of course, having then a big correction, and then we go down, and then the big bull market starts, correction, and then the big bull market starts. And honestly, the halving right now is 138 days away. It's not that long anymore. It's also about to be happening. And usually pre-halving Bitcoin tends to see a dip. But the only thing that is right now different is, of course, the Bitcoin spot ETF. So I had a conversation with someone else about this as well. The only thing that is different compared to the previous bear markets, is that this time around we're having actual very bullish macro perspective why it could be different this time around, and how this potentially is a super cycle, because if Bitcoin sets a new all-time high before halving, it is definitely a super cycle. Then we're definitely entering the super cycle, and I would only expect the bull case will be even higher, because don't get me wrong, there is a big possibility that Bitcoin is going to set a new all-time high before halving due to the Bitcoin spot ETF, because it's going to be flowing in massive wealth. And you have to understand one thing. There are also some rumors going on, and potentially this is happening right now here, is that Qatar's sovereign wealth fund is considering a buy of $500 billion in Bitcoin. And a $500 billion buy in Bitcoin would literally send Bitcoin up to $200,000 and potentially even $300,000. Because currently there are only about $75 billion liquid Bitcoin available left on the market. So they can't even buy it all. And since they're buying and they can't buy it all at one time, They're going to be increasing their spread. They're going to be increasing the price, and it could literally send Bitcoin up to 200, potentially even 300,000 US dollars. And with the ETFs coming, is getting approval from Wall Street, and potentially they want to be there before Wall Street, so they're already starting to be buying up. And of course, they are only going to say it after they bought. So this could be a very big potential scenario. Qatar could be interested in Bitcoin. They literally talked about Bitcoin. The president of El Salvador has said it. They have literally talked about Bitcoin, and I think that you should be paying attention towards this. So I'm going to be retweeting this again. This is so important. This could be the reason why Bitcoin is currently pumping towards the upside. Then at the same time, we are creating 8 weekly candles in a row green, and the last time we did that was all the way back in the 2016 or 2017 beginning of the bull market rally. This was the last time right here that we did this 7 weekly candles in a row. I think we even did more here. Let me quickly check this. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. They did 8 over there, and I think we're doing 8 right now as well. We did already 7, but we're about to yeah, we're doing 8 right now as well. So that was the last time we did 8 weekly candles in a row in the green. What is, of course, absolutely massive. So let me quickly check see what the chat is saying. What about large caps? I just discussed this as well. I am buying some altcoins, and I could show you my list about all the things that I currently have here. But I really think that right now it is Bitcoin, and after that is going to be Ethereum altcoins. Sorry, Ethereum large caps. This is really how the cycle always goes, and especially in these bear markets, this is really how the money flows here. And it's important to understand how money flows in the market, because there are some people that are making the majority of the profit, and that's because they are shifting their money on the right time, and that is why they're basically making so much money at the same time. So Bitcoin keeps on continuing towards the upside, guys. It is absolutely massive. I can't believe my eyes how insane this is. So when is the dump going to be happening? That's what someone is saying in the chat. Honestly, I thought we could have seen a pullback, but I discussed this in my video. I said, if we are breaking the support line, I think we could be going down here. But if we broke literally the downward sloping resistance line, and that was the point we even went higher. So we should be right now looking at the next move here for Bitcoin. So I am thinking about opening a small little trade here. I'm going to show my losses and profits here on today's stream here, because I can see actually some very interesting behavior on the price action on Bitcoin right now on the lower time frame. And I usually trade the lower time frames all alone, not on a stream, because I don't really like to see what people show people what I'm exactly doing in the lower time frames, because I could be sometimes a little bit risky and a little bit inappropriate, and I don't want everyone to see that, because I don't think that is a very smart decision to be following, because I do know if I share it on YouTube, potentially people are going to be following me. So what we actually can see before going in towards that shorter term time frame potential trade here is that Bitcoin right here, this is the open interest. So this is the amount of open interest that is flowing in towards the market, is indeed also increasing right now here. This is a risk, because the more open interest is in the market, the bigger the flush hit and the bigger the correction could be here. And especially since we're going up, it's likely that it is actually all in long positions. And you see, if there's too much open interest in the market, we always get these big crashes and these big red candles in one go down here. That is usually what happens. But of course, always we recover from that back towards the upside. But this was a beautiful reaccumulation phase actually to see. This just like this beautiful reaccumulation, and this also. This entire region right here has been super boring, but it has all been worth the wait. Honestly, guys, this is so much worth the wait. I've waited quite a long time, but this is definitely worth it. So let me go in towards the 5-minute time frame. The things that I'm seeing here on the short term, discuss it here live on the stream, and I am potentially even going to be opening up a trade here, because I got my BYBIT account right here ready, and I'm looking to be taking some new trades here. So looking quickly at the RSI, let me quickly open it up here, guys. I can straight away see that we're creating somewhat of a loss of momentum, right? So we go first extremely exponential, and then we create that less exponential top, right? So this is a typical topping structure. We've seen this many times before getting created. Here you saw, but actually Bitcoin continued towards the upside, but you see it usually like this, right? So boom, less exponential top, and then you come down here a little bit here, but still we remain to be very strong in this trend, and that is very interesting in my opinion. So you can see it right here. Let's see here as well. So you have this exponential rally towards the upside, then the top gets less exponential, and then you have this correction and reaccumulate back towards the upside. So I'm not saying that Bitcoin is going to go all the way down to $40,000, but what I'm trying to say here is that potentially I want to be waiting for a newer high. We could come down a little bit here, reaccumulate, and then we're probably going to go in towards another rally towards the upside. So I think Bitcoin remains to be strong, or remains to be resilient. There is someone buying here in the background, but we don't know exactly who it is. Let me quickly also check up on how much profit Michael Saylor is making, guys. This is insane. He's going to go down as the biggest, best investor in the world. So he's currently up $2.3 billion US, what is of course absolutely massive. He invested $5 billion US himself, up currently $2.3 billion US, what is a massive investment. El Salvador also currently up $3.5 million US. Unfortunately, they have not been buying so aggressively in the bear market, just like MicroStrategy has not really been buying aggressively in the bear market. I mean, in the bear market, they did like $23 million US purchases, while in the bull market, they did purchases of about, let me check it. This was a purchase. Oh, this is the price of Bitcoin. This was a $1 billion US. $1 billion US Bitcoin buy. So that is absolutely insane for 20,000 Bitcoins they bought. So right now they're not buying that aggressively. So that's pretty interesting to be seeing, right? So in the bear market low, they bought only 800 Bitcoin. And in the bull market, they bought like 6 or 20,000 Bitcoin. So that's the big difference. And that is why they're not making such a significant profit. But they are still in a profit. So they're doing an absolutely amazing job here. El Salvador as well. DCAing every single day. Got a portfolio worth $120 million US right now here. Not that big. I mean, I'm saying not that big, but for a country, it's not that big. But they're doing an amazing job here. Definitely well done. So currently we can see the Bitcoin is actually already coming down a little bit here. Actually, if I want to be taking this trade, unfortunately, it's going to be a short position, so I'm hedging my bets. I mean, I'm already 100% long on my spot, so that is why I'm also looking at a short position right now. So what I want to be seeing is actually on the behavior for Bitcoin is that it is going to be pushing up again and create a less exponential high. If I see that confirmation, I'm going to open a small short position, and I'm going to do it live here on the stream. And if anyone wants to be trading here, you could even trade it with a free trade here. And if you want to get that free trade, it's super simple. Go to the link description of today's video, sign up an account using that airdrop link in the description. You only have to complete KYC, and you have to deposit $100 in your first 7 days, and you can claim a free $1,000 US position. It's absolutely massive. Big deposit bonus, and you could be claiming it right now. I already follow you since you just had your channel. That's absolutely insane. And I've been waiting for the Bitcoin dump for weeks now. Oh, that must feel terrible. But I'm in the long from 28K. That's an amazing thing to hear. That's an amazing thing. You know what I really regret? I opened up a Bitcoin long in $16,000 and cashed it out on 24K. Imagine. What to do, short or long. Just like, I mean, I explained my whole thesis about why you should be very careful earlier. But I'm going to be potentially trade to short term. And if I'm trading short term, guys, I'm potentially even exiting my trades within minutes. Man, XRP is hoping right now. Isn't doing that terrible? I think XRP is not doing that well here. I think altcoins in general are doing... Oh, what is this? This looks like a very boring chart. So XRP is losing a lot of value against Bitcoin, but I discussed this yesterday on my second channel. Honestly, if I'm looking at XRP right now, it is sitting at this box where it is interesting to be buying. Because this is the XRP compared to Bitcoin chart, and honestly, every single time it is in this box for at least the last 2 years, it has been a great buy. It has been a super good buy. And honestly, I don't see why it is going to be different this time around. I don't expect why it should be different. Quickly checking up about what coins are actually performing very well right now. So Ordinal, yeah, already has been performing super good as well. Bought some on $20, still holding, but I only hold like $5,000 right now, about $10,000, $20,000 US probably. I've not checked it for a while, but it's been doing very good. But I'm not holding that much of it. But it's already P53, and that's why I don't really want to buy more of it. I thought it was already too high on once it was setting around $20, but it's still doing absolutely amazing. What else is doing good? Casper is doing amazing. Pepe, I've checked that earlier, guys. Pepe is also performing like crazy. Gala Games, Decentralized Sandbox. Sandbox is also a potential coin that could be doing very, very well here. Shiba, don't really like it, to be honest. What is the top for Bitcoin? That's of course what we all want to know. EOS, I should definitely not be interested in that one. Optimism, I really like it for the next bull run as well. I took profit of VeChain. Yeah, VeChain is also still around there. Not a lot of people have been talking about it. Okay, so I checked up some projects which are performing very well right now. By the way, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. That will be an absolute pleasure. Quickly checking up some things, guys. Targets for a short trade. Yeah, if I just like I said, I first want to be waiting for the price action to be forming that less exponential high and for the confirmation. And what are the targets going to be like? The targets are going to be quite interesting to be looking at, because honestly what you want to be doing is getting out at that low point of that first bottoming structure, right? So that is what we've been seeing right here. World was going exponential. This was really a point where we started to retest. So this was the point of the slowdown, basically, because after this high we went slower. So I think that the 43.3k is going to be an interesting level to be looking at. And just like yesterday's rally, right, we had this rally towards the upside, we waited for the less exponential high, and then we went down here, re-accumulated, went up again, went down again, and then we started to be going again, because that's usually what happens on Bitcoin, right? That's usually behavior. I want to add some altcoins, which are very interested. So let me quickly show you altcoins. Boom. Let me quickly show you what I am interested in. Oh, wait, I posted this on Twitter. Make sure to follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. That will be absolutely interesting. So this is literally a list where I invested $50,000 in. All these altcoins, I've invested $50,000. So you've got Arbitrum. AVAX, I think, is going to be performing very well. Why Arbitrum? First of all, Arbitrum, I think, is going to be a very popular layer 2. Usually, these new upcoming layer 2s with a lot of users tend to be doing very well in the next bull run. So I really think that Arbitrum is going to be performing very well. I don't think that Cardano is going to be performing well. Then AVAX, also interesting one. Uniswap, I think decentralized DeFi. Decentralized finance, sorry, excuse me, I can't talk. Decentralized finance, I think, is going to be really picking up since all these exchanges are becoming KYC mandatory. And that is why I also am very bullish on GMX. GMX is the biggest decentralized exchange out there where you could be trading with the biggest liquidity. So I think their coin is going to be performing also quite well here. Then you've got Tenet, also very good layer 1. That is, in my opinion, quite undervalued. You've got PropChain, one of the best real-world assets out there, real-world asset coins. I've been buying PropChain around $1, and currently, and I called this also on my channel, and that is of course absolutely amazing to see. It's currently sitting around all-time highs here, around that $2.30 level, what is also very nice. I talked about that this was my accumulation range, $1.20. It exactly reaccumulated around this level and went up here. So if anyone bought it, you made it 2x, and honestly, I think it could do another 10x in the coming bull run. So this is a little bit of a lower cap altcoin, but looking further in towards it, we've got Arbitrum. Oh, I put it in twice. Oh, that's very not so sharp from me. We've got Render. I'm very bullish on Render. I don't know how it's doing right now here. Render is like a GPU power provider. It is honestly so freaking undervalued. I've been talking about it for such a long time, and I think also this is a coin that could do like a 20-30x here in the coming bull run. Then I've got some more coins. Where's my list? Then I've got GMX, I just discussed. Front is about to be launching its mainnet. I think it's going to be very bullish in the coming months as well. Front, let me check the chart. But the chart is also looking super bullish here. This coin came from a very big bear market, but honestly right now is creating a massive reaccumulation phase right here. And I think this is already starting to be breaking out here. And I think it's going to be the next altcoin to be looking at. Also, it had this very interesting initial run up towards the upside. Pumped about like a 6x, then came down again. And right now it's consolidating and about to start its next run up as well here. Then you've got XTP. I think it's very good financial sector. And 1inch. Once again, I think DeFi is going to be the thing to be looking at. Then we've got a donation. What do you feel about Cashback? I feel like Cashback is like, I feel some guys are very early in towards it and are shilling it very hard here on the internet, and that is what I don't like. But it is doing so well here. It's insane. It is insane. So yeah, you could make definitely so much money for with it. Let me quickly check this. This is the best chart to look at. Yeah, this is a better chart. So I mean, it's going up very significantly. I'm not quite sure. I don't really like it, but it is performing very well. I don't really like it, but it is performing very well. So what is this market cap right now? I'm not quite sure. It's piece 26. Yeah, so it's sitting around 3 billion market cap. Honestly, I know some people that made a lot of money from it. And yeah, it probably could perform very well in the next bull run. I mean, it's got a very big community. And that is the reason why it's probably going to be doing so well here. So if there's going to be a big dip here, I'm probably going to be buying some. Then someone else is asking about PYTH. PYTH. I don't know what this is. Oh, this pumped massively. It launched on all these different exchanges. PYTH. Okay. Okay. It just launched on all kinds of different exchanges. Just days before. So if you're looking at a new coin, guys, it's all about the fundamentals. I mean, I can look at the chart, but it's all about the fundamentals. So I'm not quite sure what the project is. So not going to do my research on it as well right now. It's like, oh, it's very low market cap. It's like oh, it's not very low. It's like 600 million market cap. But it's still quite low here. Quite low. Volume is pretty decent, so that's good. Not quite sure what it is, but it is purely fundamental, so I can't do really charting on it. Is DOT a good coin? DOT is a good coin, but I feel like it has had its best days. So I'm not very much invested into DOT. I think like the biggest gems, I think this is like one of the biggest gems, GMX. I think this is very undervalued. I think it could, it's also not pumping. It's not pumping yet here. So yeah, feel like this could be doing very well. Also 1inch, guys, massively down from all-time highs. And it's literally starting to be breaking its downtrend right now. 1inch is starting to be breaking its weekly downtrend. In the beginning of the bull run, it did so well, 1inch. I mean, 1inch did, I got in very early on 1inch. It did me like a 20x. And honestly, right now, I think it could do another 20x. So I can show you. I bought some 1inch, like 50k. I bought 50k worth of it a couple days ago. I think 2 weeks ago. Around the low. I bought it exactly on the low. 32, 34 cents. And right now it's going up. It's going up. That's nice. Nice to see. So I'm super excited about 1inch. I think this is a coin that could once again do a 10x. Further on, just like I said, GMX. GMX is also a low market cap coin. And just like I said, the government crackdown is coming on crypto, so I think DeFi is going to be big. So that is why I'm super excited on 1inch, why I'm super excited on Uniswap, and why I'm super excited on GMX. Also, only 470 million market cap. It's not starting to pop yet. It could do very well. Thank you, Rover. Another Rover in the chat. Everyone wants 1inch to become 12inch. Wow, that's very crazy. That is very crazy. DOT is breaking the... Yeah, that's true, guys. But you have to understand. I mean, just like EOS. I mean, DOT is indeed going up right now here on the 1 hour time frame. But how you should be approaching it is against Bitcoin. And against Bitcoin, it has been bleeding. It's not been performing... It's been performing like shit. Better said. Let me check Solana. Solana has been coming down here. Exactly at my resistance target. So we could be expecting some potential problem for Solana right here. But definitely interesting range to be looking at. But you should be looking like DOT. I think DOT is going to be bleeding until it doesn't, right? And until it bounces a little bit here. Just like it did recently. But I think it's going to continue to bleed, unfortunately. I think that DOT is not a buy yet. What is the best altcoin after ETH? I mean, you can't really compare many altcoins to ETH because ETH is a layer 1. What about Link? Link, I've been bullish on it, and you can check it on my Link. I've been very bullish on, and that's also due to fundamental reasons, because Link has got a different fundamental aspect than all these other coins. It has been exactly running and stopping at my level I've been expecting. I've been talking about this range so many times in the bear market. I've been talking so many times about it. Not a lot of people have been really listening, I guess. Not a lot of people have been really listening, because that's how it goes in the bear market, right? I've been really talking about it many times, that I was buying and stacking up. I currently owe more than 250k in Link. It's not that much, but of course I've got a very diverse portfolio. But I think also, if it does a 10x, it will make like 2 million. And honestly, I think it can make a 10x. My target for Chainlink is $120. So that's the target I'm aiming for. I think it could easily outtake the previous high, because last bull run, Link didn't really perform that well. And I got in on Link on $1.40. That was my best buy ever. And it was in the 2020 here, this season right here. And I bought like $300 of it, and then it went up to $30. So I made like, not quite sure, what is it? I didn't even care anymore about that money, because I was making so much more money on other projects. But it was like 3,000 euros. But that was in the beginnings, because in 2020 I only bought like 200 or 300 euros of this. But I made my fortunes, especially in the last bull run, with Cardano, because I bought Cardano on 1.5 cents. And also with $400, and that made me tons and tons of money. That literally made me more than $80,000. That was insane. Let me check. Bitcoin flipped Meta and Berkshire when it hits 44k. That's insane. Yeah, the market cap of Bitcoin is increasing rapidly. And for the ones that don't understand how the market cap works, guys, let me know, guys. Do you know how the market cap works on Bitcoin? Because let's say you invest $1, and this is one not everyone understands. Let's say crypto Karen is going to be investing $1 into Bitcoin. The market cap, like you can see right here, is not going to be increasing by $1. No, the market cap is going to be increased by $2 or $3. And there's going to be less and less available supply. It's going to be even increased by more. So that is why in a bull market, Bitcoin always goes more exponential. And why so? Let me also quickly show you this, guys. That therefore is this indication, and therefore it's so important. I've been discussing this in the bear market, but of course I got way lesser views, guys. I got like shitty views here on YouTube, because people don't care in the bear market, and now people are starting to get interested. Honestly, I don't really think that retail interest is back yet, but it starts to get back right now. So the best way to predict bear markets and bull markets is basically using on-chain data. So right now we're definitely not in the bull market yet. So be happy, you're still quite early. But in the bear market, the MVRZ score is relatively low, what means that there's so less liquidity in the market. Liquidity is all drained out due to the bull run and due to the bear market that everyone is cashing out. If you're buying $1 in the bear market at that point, you're maybe pumping the Bitcoin market cap by $8, what is of course absolutely insane. And that's why you also get these very fast rallies of like 60 or 70% in the bear market if you recover outside of it. And now the liquidity is starting to become a little bit better here. But using the bull market, of course, the biggest liquidity is there. And the higher liquidity there is, the more likely people are also going to take it out. So these large players, they're going to be starting to try to cash out some Bitcoin. And of course, eventually, all these players that sold on the top, they're literally buying at the bottom again, because they have so much money that they can influence and create a top and can influence and create a bottom. It sounds a little bit silly, but this is literally how it works. And this on-chain data really tells us and helps us with that. And the less and less available Bitcoin is going to be, the bigger the liquidity is going to be as well, and the more easier we're going to be moving this Bitcoin price here. So that is going to be very interesting to be seeing. Also, quickly discussing it, guys. Binance is losing massive market share. For the ones that have not been paying attention, Binance have been losing massive market share. They got more than 45,000 Bitcoin got withdrawal from Binance in the last 30 days. And to be exact, more than 40,000 Bitcoin approximately also went to off-chain wallets as well. So less and less Bitcoin is available to be buying and selling on exchanges. So Bitcoin is becoming more and more squeezed up, and due to that, prices are once again rising, guys. Super excited about this. Altcoin season is once Bitcoin dominance is going down. Exactly, that is very well said. And for the ones that don't understand, altcoin season is not going to come right now. I mean, there could be a small altcoin season. Don't get me wrong. There could be a small altcoin season, but not altcoin season like in the bull market, because altcoin season like in the bull market is absolutely insane. You can't even imagine how insane that is, because once this happens, like the big drop in the Bitcoin dominance, that is also altcoin season, and usually that big drop starts to happen once Bitcoin breaks its all-time high. And right now Bitcoin has not broken its all-time high yet. We're just a few percent away from it. Let me quickly check how far away. We're not that far away anymore. But once Bitcoin breaks its all-time high, that is the point where altcoin season could start to get created. So from of now, Bitcoin is about a 56% pump away. So that's quite a lot still. That's quite a lot, not gonna lie. Quite a lot. I was expecting it's gonna be so much. So yeah, it's only down 36% from its all-time high. Bitcoin is only down 36% from its all-time high. That's insane. Boom. Okay. Okay, yeah, Bitcoin. Let's see. It's coming down a little bit here. Really want to be trading this live on the channel, but I just have to be a little bit more patient. Just have to be a little bit more patient. It's not really giving the opportunity yet to be taking and trading this. I shorted Bitcoin at 44.1. Oh, that's a very, very nice entry. Make sure to use a tight stop loss always, guys. Make sure to use a very tight stop loss. Love seeing you, Jesus coin. I've got no clue. It sounds like a. I'm always very careful with this because this is like a. There are so many Jesus coins. There are so many Jesus coins. I'm not quite sure. It's been pumping, but be careful with this because it's a low. It's only on Uniswap, so that's the majority of the volume. The volume is not that big, so I should be careful with it. Should be very careful with it. Could be a lot of scammy projects as well. And if you want to be losing money, it's usually with these projects, because there are some people that are making a lot of money, and the majority of is going to be probably losing money. So I should be careful with that project. I'm not really interested in it personally. Why is Bitcoin pumping? Yeah, you should definitely scroll back to the beginning of the stream, because I went in exact depth about why that is currently happening. I'm not gonna, I don't really want to be explaining it again, but I will probably do it in tomorrow's update video. So yeah, Bitcoin is coming down a little bit here. Honestly, if I wake up tomorrow, it's going to be completely different. What do you think about the next all-time high in 2025? I think next all-time high is going to be 2024. And I will be really surprised if it's going to be happening in 2023. That will be very much surprising me. I don't really think it's going to be happening, but I think 2024... approximately around November. That is where I think it's going to be setting the all-time highs. So Bitcoin, like you can see here on the 1 minute time frame, like we went exponential, less exponential, less exponential, and right now potentially we could have the turnover. That is what you're seeing clearly at the momentum. And make sure to know, Bitcoin is trading on $44,000. And just an hour ago, like 2 hours ago, it was trading on 41. And just 2 days ago, it was trading around 38. So it's going very quickly right now, guys. So a pullback wouldn't be something that strange, to be honest. I think they're knowing something the ETF could be improved in days or weeks. Honestly, if we're looking about what is playing out right now, the likeliest period an ETF is going to get accepted is going to be between 5 and 10 of January. But it's like a 99% insurance, not insurance, but certainty it's going to be coming. So, I mean, we also know it's going to come. We also know it's going to come. It's going to be inevitable. And that is why we're also having so like reduced sell pressure. People are not interested in selling their Bitcoin. And I mean, we're getting more and more holders in this market. And I discussed this earlier in today's video, live stream, I mean. The majority of long-term holders is just increasing so rapidly. And you can see it in the hodl waves as well. Guys, it is just once again repeating like the previous cycle. So let me show this. Boom. Let me get rid of this. So this is all a little bit laggy. Boom. Let me disable this. Also disable this. Boom, boom, boom. So what we can basically see. Let's do this. So what we can... Oh, sorry. This is not what I try to do. This is what I try to do. It's always hard to set it up while doing a live stream, guys. But what we can basically see is that more and more and more and more supply. And of course, in the bull run, there comes a lot of new supply in towards the market. But all those people get convinced as well to hodl Bitcoin, and they believe in the project. And more people are actually starting to become long-term holders. And the more long-term holders we're having in this market, the higher it is going to go. And if the mentality stays like, oh, hodl for dear life, the higher it is honestly going to go. Literally, that's how it works. And we have just seen a lot of new people that got interested in Bitcoin came by, a lot of new money flowing towards it, the ETFs, of course. So I'm super certain we're going to see new all-time highs. But the question really remains if it's going to be 2024 or 2023. I don't think it's going to be 2023. I think realistically speaking, if we're looking at the cycle and where we're currently standing, it is very likely it's going to be 2024. And it's also, if we're looking at history at least, it's going to be likely that we are going to be having a correction around the halving. But the question remains, if the ETF gets accepted and Bitcoin pushes up even higher, are we potentially already at new all-time highs at that point? That's the question. But honestly, if the ETF comes, I think it's going to be a sell the news event because it's so hyped up. And potentially people get disappointed by the pump and then are going to exiting. Because people are maybe right now buying Bitcoin out of anticipation of the Bitcoin spot ETF approval. And they don't really like Bitcoin as a thing, but they're just trying to benefit from the volatility. So that could make sense. So if the ETF gets accepted, it makes sense. It could potentially provide some sell pressure. And the question really remains, how much sell pressure is it going to be? So that's the thing we should be looking out for. There are so many more coins you could be making money with. Yes, of course, I discussed them as well. Why is there a correction around the halving? It's purely due to hype. And honestly, why am I saying so? Is because it happened in the last 3 halvings. So I'm not saying this out of my not a finger. No, I'm saying this due to this always happened in the past. Because people get excited by the halving, they buy up to it, and then yeah, nothing really happened and they sell their Bitcoin again. And then of course the bull cycle starts. So this is what happened the last 3 times. And honestly, like, well, you know what's very funny? This is what I'm going to show. It's actually very funny. So this bottom that we created, like I said it so many times on my Twitter, also on YouTube. Like the bottom that we created here on Bitcoin, this is not the chart I meant, was 365 days later than the all-time high. And the year before, it was also exactly the same. So this was it. So yeah, this is the chart. So Bitcoin, and I discussed this also, guys, Walt was at the bottom. And let me quickly show you that chart as well before you don't believe me. So first I explain it, and then I'm going to search for the chart. So Bitcoin exactly bottomed a year after it set its all-time high, but it exactly did the same in 2018. And let me show you this chart because I tweeted about this as well. Yeah, here. I tweeted about this while we literally set the bottom as well. So this is important to understand about where we're sitting in the cycle and where we're about to be heading towards. But you see usually around these halvings as well, my face cam is in the way right now. My face cam is in the way. You see always around the halving we tend to dump. So honestly, like, everything has been so similar, so why wouldn't this be so similar as the previous cycle? So of course I do know that I shouldn't be betting necessarily on history to be repeating, because that's a silly strategy, but it has been working so far. Honestly, for the bear market, this is how I made tons and tons of profit, because I've been betting on just historical events. And that's of course important to be understanding. By the way, guys, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. That will be absolutely lovely. But imagine the Bitcoin spot ETF gets accepted this week. Probably Bitcoin will go to all-time highs because everyone will be shocked. That is honestly very crazy. That could be happening. If the Bitcoin spot ETF gets accepted, we will probably flush up towards the upside. And you know what's even more crazy? If Bitcoin surges above 44,000 US dollars and the Bitcoin spot ETF is not even accepted, it tells that people are even expecting higher highs than that. So honestly, the inflow will be absolutely massive. So the Bitcoin spot ETF has not been accepted yet, and Bitcoin is sitting on $44,000. The inflow will be massive. Interesting. So, I will be wrapping up the stream right now here. Bitcoin, in my opinion, is probably forming a small little top here. And of course, if not, it's going to be creating a small little, less exponential high, and then potentially come down and cool down. 43.3 is my interesting level to be looking at. Tomorrow, on tomorrow's update video, I'm going to update everyone again here. So make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date. Smash up the bell notification. I'm going to be trying to be more often live here to discuss more things, to discuss more trades, to discuss more altcoin buys, to make more money in the future as well. So guys, thank you so much for watching towards the amazing new stream here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.